Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessie and I do lots of lifestyles and travel vlogs. I am big into Disney, and this series is actually my cruise countdown series, so welcome. If you haven't already seen the first couple, make sure you go back and check them out. This is our 18-week cruise countdown, and what we'll be talking about today is my top 5 tips for first time Disney cruises. There is so much to do and so many YouTube vlogs or just normal blogs, so much information out there about what to do for first time cruises, and as someone who has seen other people go on their first time cruises, there's a lot of information and everyone tries to do everything, and I just want to make it really simple and give you my top 5 tips so that you can try and navigate your way through this, because there's a lot to do and I can guarantee you will not get it all done. I still have not done everything on board certain ships, so don't feel bad. It just means you're going to have to go back, and that's pretty awesome in my opinion anyway. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. We're going to start with number 1. Pack a day bag. This sounds so silly. I understand. You're like, but Jessie, come on, I'm taking my suitcase on the cruise with me. It'll be there, and it will be there, but it won't be in your stateroom until later in the afternoon. And if you're like me and you want to take full advantage of every moment on board that ship, trust me, you're going to need a day bag. So things that you'll need in that day bag are your essential medications, obviously. If you're an adult and you are bringing on some alcohol, which is allowed, you just need to read the restrictions. So I believe it is 2 bottles of wine per adult per stateroom. I think it's just per adult. They have to be sealed. It can't be half opened, or it's 6 cans of beer, but just check the sizings, because I do know it does change depending on what port you go out of. They need to be in your day bag. They need to be on your carry-on, so that they go through security, and then you're free to drink them on board the ship. So what have I said? I said essential medications, any alcohol that you're bringing on board. You will also need to bring on sort of like the things you're going to be using that day. Obviously sunscreen if you're in a hot cruise, a hat. If you're traveling with kids, obviously everything that your kid needs as well. But my biggest thing is, if you want to get on board the Aqueduct, the Aquamas, or any of the pools without huge lines, the day you board is the best chance you're going to get to do it. So I recommend packing in some bathers, swimmers, togs, whichever country you want to say you're from. There's a fun fact for you: Australians, we call them togs. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but I've lived here for so long and we call them swimsuits, bathers. So it's like an absolute mash of information in my head, because of all of the different countries that I have lived in and been a part of. The same thing, so many different words. So comment down below actually what you call swimsuit, bathers, and where you're from, because I would love to find out. That's a good point. Anyway, yes, whatever you want to go swimming in, make sure you have them in your day bag as well, because after you get on board, if you're like me and you head straight for either the buffet or the sit down meal for lunch, go to the pool if that's what you want to do. This is your best chance to get on those water slides, whichever ship you're on, with the smallest amount of lines. So you can do that, and then you'll just be in full vacation mode, full holiday mode. Another one of those words you use in different countries means the same thing. You're just there to relax, and you can totally take advantage of that. So there's your big tip. Make sure that you have packed your day bag with everything that you're going to need in the first, I would say, up until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So anything you're going to need from when you board up until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, make sure it's in your day bag. I'm saying 4 o'clock. I know that the staterooms are opened earlier, but it does take them a little bit longer to bring the bags up. There's a lot of cabins even 6 o'clock. So just bear that in mind. So that is top tip number 1, pack yourself a day bag. Number 2 is to download the Disney Cruise app. I highly recommend doing this before you even get to port. If you've booked your cruise, download the app. It gives you a really super fun countdown. I'm going to put a little screenshot of what that looks there. I check it every day. It's so exciting to see those days get further and further down. Honestly, best thing to do in the morning. But download the app, and then when you get to the port, depending on which terminal you go from, I know that you definitely can do it in Port Canaveral. When you're inside the terminal, you can actually see if you can connect to the ship's Wi-Fi while you're waiting to board, and that is where the fun starts. So that is where you can see what rotational dining schedule you're on, which restaurant are you starting at, because that's always fun for me, what activities are on for the rest of the day, what is the theatre show that evening. And the sooner that, well, for me, the sooner that you find that out, the sooner the fun begins in my head. It also means you can actually start hearting and favoriting the activities on board that you want to do, and with the rest of your party linked up, you can actually start sending messages as well, which is fun, and that doesn't use any of your data. That is all just like free Wi-Fi. If you start downloading things on board, then you start using paying for the Wi-Fi, but to use the actual Navigator app on board, it's free on their Wi-Fi. So as soon as you can, try and connect to the Wi-Fi, and you'll start seeing all the fun stuff that you're going to get up to, which is super fun. So tip number 2, make sure you download the Disney Cruise app. Tip number 3 is make sure you take full advantage of all of the activities they have on board. There are so many different things, and I still to this day have not tried some of the things I really want to do, and using that app to favorite the ones for the rest of your journey is super helpful, because it sends you reminders like 15 minutes before, oh, you favorited this, and then you don't have to go, but it's nice to know you can. So yeah, make sure you take full advantage of that. The biggest thing I can recommend, and I think I mentioned it in my video last week, is to make sure you look at the age restrictions on all of the activities, because some of them, especially in the kids club, you don't realize that it's actually open for all ages. It's like an open house, and adults can go and see the amazing spaces that they have on board, and that is truly fun for me, because as I said, we don't have children, and I was too old when we went on our first cruise to actually go into those kids clubs, and honestly the improvements they've made, like technology is just amazing these days. So to go in and have a look, it's honestly so much fun, and sometimes they have some of the characters there. You can see them, say hi, get them to sign something. I'm so excited for that. So that is truly, and normally that is like, they do open it throughout the cruise, but it's really big on day 1 to have open houses of all the spaces. So just check the Navigator app and check all of the details. But honestly, tip number 3 there, take advantage of all of the onboard activities they have available, because there's something for every single person, trust me. Number 4, that's another one for day 1, is to explore the ship. Do it early, because the more familiar you are with the surroundings, the more confident you're going to be, and then the more relaxed you're going to be. So then you won't have to leave, 15 minutes, well, not 15 minutes, the ships are big, but they're not that big. You won't have to leave an extra 10 minutes before an activity just to try and find out where you're going. So yeah, explore the ship early. On the Disney Fantasy and Dream, they actually have a really fun detective midship detective game, which has 3 different versions that you can play. It's actually really helpful because it makes you go through all of the decks to find these points that have interactive features, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it is kind of fun to familiarize yourself with the deck plan, the deck layout. You will 100% get confused at some point over which way is forward, which way is off, do I turn left, do I turn right? It's okay. There are tips, on how to do that, and I will make sure that they are in another video, so you'll have to come back and find out how you get around the ships easily for first timers. But I will say, the more you familiarize yourself, the easier you're going to find the rest of your trip. And you're on vacation, I know everyone wants to take the elevator, but sometimes, and believe me, sometimes it is definitely quicker if you are able to take the stairs. Also means you won't feel guilty about having that extra free soft serve on the deck with the sail away party. So completely up to you, and only if you are able-bodied and able to actually move up and down the stairs. But sometimes it is quicker to take the stairs than to wait for the elevators, because a lot of people are trying to take the elevators. So just bear that in mind. Tip number 4, explore the ship early. And tip number 5, and this is the biggest one, relax and don't overschedule. That is so easy said than done, because I have made this mistake on my first couple of cruises, and actually even when I took hubby on his first one, I was like, we've got to go to this trivia, we've got to go do this, we've got to go do this, we've got to do this. And then at the end, you get off the ship, instead of feeling relaxed and ready to face the real world again, you feel exhausted because you've just had so much fun. So yes, that is the biggest tip, and it is the hardest one to follow. I appreciate that, but relax and don't overschedule. There is always going to be another trivia the next day. There is always going to be another bar that you can go see, and honestly, there's always next Disney cruise. You know, just an incentive to make sure you get that placeholder. And if you don't know what a placeholder is, make sure you come back, because that is also in another video. But they are my top 5 tips for first time Disney cruises. Tip number 1, pack a day bag. Tip 2, download the Disney Cruise Line app before you even arrive at the terminal if you haven't already done so. Tip number 3, take advantage of all of the activities on board, because trust me, there are some really cool things that you didn't even know you needed to know. Tip 4, explore the ship early. The more familiar you are, the more comfortable you are, but easier it is for you to relax. And tip number 5, relax and don't overschedule. There is always something fun to do. So they were my top 5 tips for first time Disney cruises. I really hope that it helped some of you out, and even if it's not your first time cruising, maybe it's giving you something to think about. Maybe you didn't realize that you could play the detective midship game to familiarize yourself with the ship. If you liked my video and you want to make sure that you are alerted for the next cruise countdown video that I have planned, and we have one for every week, so make sure you do like, subscribe, and get notified for every video that I put up. I will be filming the cruise as well, so I will have lots to share after. Make sure you follow me for the shorts. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok with the same handle if you're interested in following me there. And if you've made it to the end, can you please comment down below what shall we do this time? A little backpack for your day bag. So if you have made it to the end of the video, give me a little emoji of a backpack for your pack-a-day bag. And thank you so much for following along. I look forward to seeing all of your comments of what you call bathers, swimsuits, togs, where you're from, because that is super exciting to me, and I love to hear from all of you and get to know where all of you are from. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. In the meantime though, have a magical day.